morning. Happy Friday. How you doing this morning? You have a frown on your face? Well, let's flip that the other way. This is a show all about positivity and hope and light and motivation, and people are already signing on all the platforms. You are tuned in to The Real Monica Adams Show. I'm your host, Monica Adams, and we're going to get you to find your voice today. We had a really powerful show yesterday. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it. We talked about Let Them, that hashtag we started a couple of years ago, Let Them Watch. And then I love this book now by Mel Robbins, Let Them, just continuing on that mindset. If you didn't see that one, go back and watch it. And I'm going to continue kind of with that powerful feeling of, okay, we let them do that. And then how do we find our voice? That'll be the second part of our show today. We're going to give you the weather as we head into the weekend. If you're outside of Missouri and Illinois, just hang with us just a bit because we have an incredible aspiring meteorologist that's been on with us for a year now, Beckett Moore, and he's going to give you the forecast, and then we're going to give you a review of the Greatest Love of All tour. We had Belinda Davids on the show just a couple of weeks ago, fell in love with her. What an incredible talent that I saw through video until I went last night and saw her live, and then she blew the roof off the factory in Chesterfield. And while I was there were two particular people in the audience that caught my attention. I wish I would have been able to get this one little girl. I'm going to show you why she caught my attention, and she caught Belinda's attention as well. And then a gentleman that was in the crowd that had the kind of passion that I have, and I hope you all can find someday, because that was just sheer, utter happiness and so in love with one of the greatest voices of our time, right? So if you didn't get a chance to get there, maybe you can look into the tour and see her somewhere else. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. But we're going to save that review for just a second. Let me just say good morning to all of you. Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Rumble, LinkedIn. We're on all those platforms. And then tell me if there's a platform that's missing that you would like for us to be on, and we'll continue to add for you. Sean Fitzgerald, Kathleen Morris, Julie Purcell, thanks for saying good morning. Feel free to do just that. We love to interact with you. Any questions, any comments you have. Hello, Julie Fabian. Good morning to our friends that call themselves Monica's Maniacs. Yes, you are awesome. And thank you for almost 2 years now that we have been doing this show. One of the segments we kicked off a year ago is the What the Weather segment with Beckett Moore.
Alrighty, welcome back into this new more weather forecast video. This one has been looking significant for a couple of days. So
good morning to you.
Good morning, Monica.
Finally.
Nice to be here.
Back when we first began, Beckett, you can tell his voice has changed. So much in Beckett has changed over the last year. For those that don't know him, this is Beckett Moore. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. You're starting your day off good?
Yes.
You got school today?
Actually, no.
You're off?
There's like a teacher day or something, so we have school off today, which is awesome.
And for those that don't know, Becky, you want to let them know where you go to school?
DeSmet Jesuit.
Yes. So he has been on with us for the last year doing incredible work for you. So what are you going to do with your day off?
I don't know yet. Probably just relax.
He needs to relax because he worked so hard for all of us. This is the thing. How many of you know a 15-year-old boy that would get up and be on a show for the last year, make his graphics and do all of this unless you have passion? A passion's going to really exude today. For those that don't know you, Beckett, and I've got new viewers that tune in every single day, tell them what you love about doing this weather for them on the show.
Yeah, so I've always loved weather, and I really like giving the forecast and, just letting people be informed about the weather. And I love just giving them, extra details, going in depth on the weather so they can be prepared for especially snow or severe weather and things like that, really preparing people for inclement weather.
And if you don't know Beckett, he is a snow lover. So he loved what we had over the last couple of weeks. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I don't want any. So let's find out. So we're going to give us the forecast for today heading into the weekend, and then let us know if any of that white stuff is in our next several days.
All right, so looking at the current conditions right now, it is still cold in St. Louis, but this is really going to be the last day where we see those really frigid temperatures, because as we head into tomorrow, temperatures are really going to be rising, but still 11 degrees. very cold out there, grab your heavy jacket. Dew point of 3 and a slight breeze out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Now, looking at the hour by hour forecast, we're going to keep rising in temperatures, actually getting into the mid 30s. It doesn't show this on here because it only goes out to around noontime, but into the afternoon, getting into the 30s. So, our warmest day here in a while, and that's just going to get even warmer as we head into tomorrow. Tonight's forecast 29 and sunny at 5 p.m., but then as we head into the overnight hours, getting a little bit cooler, but staying in those upper 20s after we get into the mid 30s in the afternoon. And then finally, the 7-day outlook. Again, 36 is our high today. Pretty warm compared to what we've been dealing with. And sunny skies, 28 as our low tomorrow. But then tomorrow, it really does get warm, getting up to 50 degrees. That's, pretty warm for this time of the year. Mostly cloudy skies, increasing clouds as we head into Sunday as well. There will be some sunshine, but a lot of clouds around for our weekend, getting back down into the 30s. And then warming back up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all near 50 degrees and sunshine, and into Thursday, staying in the 40s. So it's going to feel very nice compared to what we've been dealing with.
So are you happy with that?
Yeah, probably. Since
Okay.
there wasn't really any snow, it was just really cold.
Yeah. So we don't want really, really cold and then snow and ice. And that's just when
Yeah.
people get miserable. And then we've got to lift them up even more. So looking at January, even December and into January, as we get ready to go into February next week, are we going to, can you kind of forecast for us ahead of time and say, I've been looking at February and it looks kind of similar, colder, better?
Yeah, so heading into the later part of this month, I don't really see a great pattern for snow here, and I don't think we're going to have any big Arctic blasts at least. And then as we head into February, I do see a similar pattern, not too many big Arctic blasts, but still could see some snow and some shots of cold air.
Okay, as long as it's not as crazy as it was, because that ice, the snow with the ice underneath it was just not fun, and it's still out there. It's still trying to melt because of all the cold. But sounds like
Right.
with the 50s that we'll get a chance to do that. Before we let you go, any big plans for the weekend?
No, I don't think so.
No, just relaxing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell your family hello, and we'll see you on Monday morning.
All right, will do. See you then.
All right, Beckett, thanks so much. Again, back in studio with Beckett Monday morning. We've got a great show on tap for all of you that remember the whole body scan that I did with Specialty MRI. We've got a gentleman that watched the show, really was compelled by what he's doing in Fenton, the first in Missouri. In fact, the only in about a 4 to 5 hour radius that from head to toe is giving you early markers for cancer and 500 other conditions that they can see early on. Again, would you want that done? Well, this guy, Lance Mayfield, did, and he's going to join us on Monday when I'm back in studio with you. All right, last night we had a chance to go and see the beautiful Belinda Davids in the Greatest Love of All tour. This was a selfie that they took. And she just had the most incredible personality. The costumes, as you saw when we were showing her a couple of weeks ago, again, before we got a chance to see her live, just absolutely beautiful. And we listened to some of the videos, and I thought, wow, this woman's phenomenal. Now, like many young girls and boys growing up, you fall in love with the voice, the greatest voice. As she said last night, the queen of pop. Nobody else can take that title from Whitney Houston. However, one of the things that I'm really hoping happens in the coming years is that we see, as they said on Britain's Got Talent, Belinda David in lights, because she's so deserving of that. Her stage presence, her beauty, her humor, her connection to the audience was amazing. We're going to show you that in the review, and I'm going to do a, what do I think? 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars? What did she get last night? I'll let you know. This is the crew that I had a chance to go with. Thank you to all of my dear friends and family, people that bought tickets, that were watching Belinda on the show. Thank you so much. And I have to show this. My husband's probably going to get mad at me. But Dot, who you see on Friendship Fridays and on our real estate talk, she was playing around with Snapchat last night. Okay, these were just some of them. Look at my husband on the right. We want his teeth whitening toothpaste that he uses. What the heck? Okay, absolutely hilarious. And I don't know. I mean, I kind of like that makeup. So if you ever played around with Snapchat, your kids, of course, they do. If you haven't, that's the kind of fun that you can have. All right, but we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, I am going to show you why I fell in love with this one particular guy that was in the audience. There was a girl and a guy that really caught my attention. We all had fun, and hopefully you got out of your seat and you feel like you can just let go. For those of you that just sit there and kind of do this, and you don't pump your hands in the air. How do we get you to be able to do that? How do we get you to find your voice and feel so comfortable in your own skin, like Nate?
It turns out you're making a fool of me.
Okay, I love Nathan, and I asked Nathan, and I got to give him so much credit because we're obviously all getting out of there late last night, if he would join me on the show today, and he said absolutely. He's not only joining me on the show, but he's gone all out for what he's put behind him. I can't wait to introduce you to Nathan Lombardo when we return.
Monica show. It's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
One of our things we always say is we want everybody to leave with a smile.
Oh, and trust me, they do. I've seen a lot of smiles here today. There's so many levels of why you will love these ladies. Well, welcome back. Not sure why that just froze on you, but welcome back. It is 7:12, and if you're just tuning in, welcome to the Real Monica Adams Show. Thrilled to have you along with us. As I mentioned, we went last night to the factory. First of all, tell me how many of you have been to the factory in Chesterfield. It is a great venue. I've now seen Teddy Swims there, and then last night, the Greatest Love of All tour with Belinda Davids. All of us that were in the crowd were on our feet, singing, dancing, or I hope you were, just letting go. I mentioned that I met Nathan Lombardo last night, and look at what he didn't just come on and just go, okay, I'm just going to wake up. You put a whole set together. Nathan, you're awesome. Good morning to you.
Oh, good morning to you. As I was joking with you before the show, if you can see the setup and how I'm having to sit in my home to make this work for you, but for you, we're gonna go all over the top.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I'm so glad. So I know my friend Dot, who was there last night, she I'm sure is up and will probably be making comments about this. She's like, because I kept saying, look at him. I love your energy. And I'm going to show some of that. We'll also show you some clips from last night. But first of all, so are you like me where we were growing up, little kids, and just were in awe of the voice?
So for me, I mean, anyone who knows me knows that Whitney Houston is my number one favorite singer. It's not a secret. My friends will text me from wherever they are around the country and say, "Oh, I'm at this place and Whitney's playing and I thought of you," or "This video came on and I thought of you," which I take as a great compliment, right?
Yeah.
But literally, my mom, when we were growing up, she had Whitney's first album on cassettes, and I would listen to Whitney Houston on the way to preschool. So we're 40 something years into being a big fan of Whitney.
And so I was talking with Belinda, who, again, Belinda Davids is in the Greatest Love of All tour, who Nathan and I saw last night. And we'll get to that in just a second. But I told Belinda, all of us, that truly were in love with her. And I remember as a little girl grabbing my hairbrush and singing and, just wanting to be her, and then got into contests over the years. And every time I was in a contest singing, it was always either a Whitney song, a Celine song, a Reba McEntire song, all the queens, right?
Well, you're a little more bold than I am to try and sing some of these songs publicly. But, it's just with Whitney, it's just a combination of the talent and the song choice. And I just think it's just all undeniable how her music just grabs you and hits you emotionally and all those things. I just love the music. And I think about her personally too. And I really have a lot of sympathy and respect for her for what she had to go through in her life. And just makes me a bigger fan.
Oh, absolutely. And have you seen some of the movies? I had a chance to go to the press junket a few years ago to see the Whitney movie and interview the ladies that portrayed Whitney and Robin. Did you see that?
Oh, I've seen all of them. Believe me, day one, I'm there.
Belinda had actually mentioned that she didn't, and I said, "I bet you I know why." Because she's like, "Yeah, I don't want to see." She's like, I want to always portray the positive, the happy side, the music that she gave to the world instead of all the negativity." And I said, "I agree." I mean, I wanted to see it because I want to see anything Whitney, hear anything Whitney,
Mhm.
but it was, gosh, are we dragging her name through the mud? Are we putting things out there that do we really need this, or can we just lift her up? What were your thoughts on the movie?
Well, just like you, I think a lot of and I had read and sort of knew a lot of her backstory
Yeah.
before I saw the movie, so I sort of knew that what I was going to see. But seeing things brought to life certainly does portray things a little differently and puts a little bit more of a human touch on those. Um, to your point, I think it's important that with Whitney or any other celebrity like that, they may have some tragic aspects to their life, but what do they leave behind? What's the legacy, and who were they as a person? Whitney obviously had her challenges, but that doesn't mean that's who she was, and that doesn't mean that that's all that she represents. And she was such a public figure. I mean, how do you live a life and have any kind of a life when your every move is just being constantly dissected? So uh, I think all of those being able to shed some humanity on her, and then focusing on the talent that she had in the music that she will have with us forever is what's really important.
Absolutely. Again, if you're just tuning in, Nathan Lombardo, who I met literally just last night, and he was leaving. And first of all, I don't know, there's just so much about you that I just fell in love. And I'm like, I've got to be friends with this guy. He and we're going to be like Will and Grace.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I can guarantee you this friendship is just going to be budding and start. You were leaving last night, and we were getting ready to come up and talk to you, and you were helping somebody in a wheelchair. Is that somebody
Yeah.
new?
That's my mom. Yeah.
Oh, it is your mom. Okay.
Yeah. So I was there with my mom, my aunt, two sisters-in-laws, one of my sisters-in-law's mom, and a friend of mine. So it was sort of a family affair.
So I couldn't tell. I just could tell that your energy was positive, and that's what this show is all about. That's all I want on this, is that
Yeah.
it is like-minded people. I couldn't tell whether those people were with you or you just really have a kind spirit. And I said, he might just be helping this lady, which I have a feeling you would have done anyway, Nathan, right?
Yeah. I'll give you both. They're my family, and I'm a kind person. And
Good.
it's funny. I had seen this show before a couple of years ago. She was in this country doing the same tour, and I lived in Atlanta at the time. And of course, I had to go see it, and so I had a great time then. And so as soon as I saw this announced for St. Louis, I said, I've got to go and see her again." And I told my family, I said, "We're going. Just trust me. It's a Whitney tribute." And I know sometimes you think of a tribute as being a certain way. I said, "No, no, 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 no. This woman, Belinda, is an unbelievable singer." And I said, even though she doesn't necessarily sound like Whitney, she's so talented that it just carries the day.
Right. And so we're going to take you back to this, and I'm going to show you again a couple of clips. I've got tons of videos. I put a reel together you can check out on Instagram from last night. But if you were there, and some of you will probably be like, I'm going to watch this later on replay, do hashtag replay because you probably slept in because we were there late last night. But her costumes, her voice, her personality, everything. Again, Nathan had said he'd already seen her before, but let's take you back. So in case you didn't get a chance to see it, this is what we're talking about. This woman is so talented.
With somebody who
Hello. Okay. Listen to the voice, the notes that she's able to hit. She's got a 4-octave range, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. That puts her and sets her up a little higher than a lot of different artists that are out there. But since you saw it before, I love that. How was the performance before compared to the Chesterfield one last night?
I mean, same level of professionalism, talent, the whole deal. And I told my family, I was like, look, it's not just someone out there with backtrack. She's got the band, she got the background singers, the lights, the whole deal. It's an actual real show. So I mean, she's just, and again, her talent just carries the day.
Yes. Well, and she had mentioned, so when you saw it last time, were there dancers? Because she mentioned that
there was dancers last time. Yes.
So I love dancing and singing. So was that a whole nother level, or do you think that this works as a standalone?
Oh no, it works fine as a standalone. I think this venue, it was where I saw it last time. It was a little bit larger venue, so it was just a larger stage. So you would need a little bit more to fill that space. But I mean, it was wonderful the way it was last night.
Okay, and so I mentioned again that throughout this, if you're just tuning in, this is Nathan My Lombardo. Just met him last night, caught my attention because again, he fell in love with her, just like all of us. Here we go.
If it feels good, if you're feeling good, put one hand in the air. Swing.
Okay, right there. So this is what I want to say. When the artists ask you to dance, get up, sing, and they really encouraged you to sing, or on top of that, just let go. And that's what you caught my attention because you're such a free spirit. Again, I know I just met you, but I can feel that in you. Is that accurate?
I have my moments. I'll say that. And but why go to a concert and sit in the chair?
Right.
No, whatever it is. I mean, and especially if you I mean, I know all the songs, right? So I know I'm singing along to. I'm surprised I'm not hoarse this morning because I was
I am
singing
a little bit.
every word. I knew it. But why go to a concert and not have some fun?
Right. And that's the thing. But again, some people, and we're going to talk about this in the second part of today's show of how do you get comfortable with yourself? How do you find your own voice? How do you fall in love with yourself? Because we need more self-love. But that
Sure.
whole thing of just let go, which you did and all of your friends. I mentioned that there was also a girl that was in the audience and there was this hug between them that I absolutely loved. But besides Nathan catching my attention, this young little girl did as well. Look at this passion in her. Okay, you saw her as well, right, Nathan?
You could not miss her. She was probably, I mean, I guess you were right behind me, so she was probably 30 feet from us. I mean, she was standing from the first note, having a good time. And I know that Belinda saw her immediately from the stage and acknowledged her early on. So, but it was really, really touching when she went and hugged her. I mean, the girl just burst into tears. She was just so overwhelmed. And
I've got
overcome.
that.
It was amazing.
I want you all to see this and she just stayed out, by the way, and was walking through the audience with everybody. But watch this. This is what we're talking about.
But each time I try,
When she almost fell.
I just break down and literally break down. The whole night through.
All right, get ready. You might tear up, everybody. Here it comes. This connection is just beautiful. Two kind people. Watch this.
It was definitely very touching.
Oh my God. I'm tearing up again. It was amazing. And look at what a pro she was. Because in the hug, obviously the song's continuing and she picked right up, not missing a beat with everyone. People were taking selfies with her during that song, hugging her throughout the whole thing. Tons and tons. She did not miss anyone, everyone that wanted a picture. And she just kept singing. I mean, the woman is an unbelievable pro.
Yeah, I would say that is definitely the word to use. She knows what she's doing. She knows what her talent is, and she's executing that. I mean, she's just very, very good at what she does, and so that's why I said I had to see her. I knew what she was capable of doing. I knew what the show was going to be like, and it was as advertised, just excellent.
So, okay, I'm just going to ask you right now as we continue to talk about this wonderful night, but what would you give it on a scale of 1 to 5 stars?
I mean, easily 5. If you wanted to be dramatic, you give it 6. So I mean, but there's no. I mean, she didn't miss a beat. It was wonderful.
Absolutely. And so, do you have a favorite costume that she had on?
You know, the purple sparkly suit was a little. I felt it was a little Prince inspired, and purple was also Whitney's favorite color. So I did definitely appreciate that homage, shall we say.
The red dress, because I asked her when I had her on a couple weeks ago, I was like, I see all these different pictures. She's got one, which she didn't have it on last night, that is just as gorgeous. I'm known for blue, like they call it, my fans call it Monica Blue. She had this gorgeous cobalt blue on in something that she's done in the past, but she actually said that her favorite would probably be this one we're going to show you right here. you hear what I just said? You better
I
sing,
did.
girl.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
You probably didn't hear what I said, but when she did that, I was like, "You better sing, girl."
And I believe I'm not. I am 99% sure that that is a that outfit is sort of a again another homage to Whitney when she sang. There's an event where she sang that song in that outfit, and I'm not going to quote the event, but I'm 99% sure there's video of Whitney in a very very similar outfit singing that song. Not that I'm totally obsessed or anything, but yeah, but those little thoughtful details are also what make the show. So she wears a dress that's or a suit that's Whitney's favorite color, and then she wears a dress that's similar to one that Whitney wore when she performed the same song. So it's very thoughtful little details like that really set it apart.
Absolutely. Again, Nathan, who is joining us this morning, it's just I showed this when we first right here.
Luckily, this video is paused for me, so I can't see how crazy it is.
You're going to get a chance to go back and see it after this.
I will.
But I just loved, he was like so into it and caught my attention. And I thought, here's the thing, folks, when I'm going to go into this part coming up in our second half hour, finding your voice very easily. I could have left there and not gone up and introduced myself to him. He also very easily could have said, no, thanks. But get out of your own way, accept invitations, take compliments. I really did fall in love with your energy. And I hope we can continue something. I can start a segment with you. So again, he and I both, like I'm guessing a lot of you, share the love of one of the greatest voices of all time, anything and everything. So funny thing was, Nathan, right before I got ready to go to bed the other night, Bodyguard came on and I'm like, oh no, I'm staying up. Got to watch the Bodyguard.
I think I was watching it at the same time. I was over at my mom's house. I'm pretty sure it was on the TV at the same time. So I'm with you.
Anything and everything, Whitney Houston. Absolutely.
Clearly.
Seriously. So if I hadn't come up to talk to you, how long would you have slept this morning?
Well, I'm more of a morning person anyway, but
okay.
I would at least be awake right now. So that's okay.
Okay, but let's go in depth. And I brought him up full screen so you can see this. So when did you start putting that background together?
So, I said I got up specially for you this morning and put this. This is it goes somewhere else in my home, but I live in a small condo, so I had a very limited place where I could make all this work just for you. But this is actually a real subway tour poster from England from her 1999 My Love Is Your Love tour. So you can see it's two panels. It's like 3 by 5 feet or so, and one is her name and the concert information. One is just her face. But I've had this, I guess, since '99, so 25 something years. But yeah, it's a prized possession. I'll say that.
You are adorable. I mean, come on. He's going to take the cake here because I'm a big fan, but I don't have anything like that. Let me ask you this, and then I'm going to look at some of the comments that are coming in. Did you see her when she was alive?
I'm so glad you asked. So I did not, and I have a heartbreaking story. So I was in Paris on a trip in 2010 visiting a friend, and she was on her last tour, and she was in Europe. And totally coincidentally, she was in Paris the same time I was there on my trip. I said, "This is amazing! I'm finally going to get to see her." I bought 2 tickets, and the morning of, she had to cancel the show because she was ill.
Oh, no.
And that was the closest I got. Holding the tickets in my hand, which I had to send back to get reimbursed. But that was the closest I ever got, was being in the same city as her. And that was it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to tell you, I hate that you didn't get a chance to, because I was telling my brother and sister-in-law who was with us last night, along with our other friends, that I was asking my brother, I said, were you with us or was it my other brother? So I have 2 older brothers. And he's like, no, I didn't. I said, okay, it must have been Craig and my mom. I saw Whitney. Now, do you know where she performed? This was probably her very first, I would say her first year.
In St. Louis?
Yes. Do you know?
She was at the Muni.
There you go. He is a true fan.
It's
you
true.
win today. Your parting gift is? Yes, she was at the Muni. And what relative performed with her?
Oh, geez. I'm going to guess it was her mom or her brother.
Her brother.
Yep. Gary did background singing and sing for her for a lot of her tours.
Yes. And I wish I would have been able to see Sissy, her mother. Again, just incredible talent all throughout. But yes, at the Muni. So, folks, you think about that incredible, iconic voice at the Muni. That's where she performed. And it was really in the beginning, Nathan, because you could tell that she knew she had this beautiful voice, but she hadn't really found moves. So she really
Right.
wasn't dancing much. She was just kind of stepping around the stage.
Well, she was probably like maybe 19 or 20 at that time. Although, I mean, God love Whitney, she wasn't necessarily known for her dance moves, but that's okay.
Right. But okay, but that's one of the things I wanted to say. Belinda's got the moves. That girl can dance.
Yeah, and did the whole show in like 5 or 6 inch heels too, if you didn't notice. So
Yeah.
she was
Well, that's
really,
because
really
she
good.
almost fell.
Well, it's funny because when she walked down those stairs, that's where we were sitting. My mom was
Yeah.
actually in the front row, and we thought behind her that, oh my God, did she trip on my mom? But no, she actually did trip on her dress. We were far enough away. We had a good laugh at the time. It's like, oh no, we can't have the star of the show collapsing on my family. But no, it was she got her dress on the way down the steps.
I didn't think I saw you, but when she was walking around, did you get a chance to get a picture with her?
No, because I was in
Busy.
the second row, and I didn't want to just dive over my mom to
Right.
get it to
Right.
get a picture.
It's funny because when she did the interview with us, again, let me reintroduce. Nathan Lombardo is my guest. We just met last night. We both had the same passion, and I just wanted to have him on the show to give you all a review. And I'm just telling you, if you didn't go, you truly missed out, because I agree with him. I will level up and get dramatic and say 6. She impressed me in the interview, and she blew me away last night. Actually, every single one of us. I was wondering, because some of the guys were like, okay, we'll go with you, honey. I kept looking over at my husband, and he did this just to be a brat. He was like this, and I go, "You're such a liar." And he goes,
Oh,
"No,
please.
incredible." She was incredible. So if you get a chance, go online. Michelle's dropping in our moderation, dropping information for you on the tour, because it continues. But Belinda had said, make sure that somehow you get a chance to see me before or after the show so I can give you a hug. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And while she was going around, I'm like, I want to go, Belinda. I wanted her to be like, oh, Monica, and be able to have that connection. But I was like, nope, you know what? I had a moment with her in our interview. Let her go around and just organically give her where it belongs. So you and I both. It wasn't like, let's make a mad dash and knock her over.
No. Gotta have some tact, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, as we wrap up, so what was your favorite song from last night?
Well, my favorite Whitney song and my favorite song period is "So Emotional," and she just killed it. I mean, it's got that sort of rock guitar intro, and then they dimmed the lights and had the light show, and then she just and that's not that I've tried to sing that song in the car or the shower a few hundred times, but I mean she hit everything, and she didn't back down from anything else in the song. So she just blew the roof off of that, and so I love that.
Yes, talent overboard. I mean, again, so Greatest Love of All tour. Check it out. Follow Belinda, by the way, also on Instagram. We'll make sure she's tagged in all of this, and hopefully she'll see it and maybe make a comment to how much we are gushing over her. Also, like, mad props to her band and the saxophonist, who was unbelievable. I mean, again, the whole thing, just talent across the board. Dot, who is on, said, "Aw, Nathan, so glad you made it on the show. You had a great time, and we enjoyed watching you singing. Love your backdrop."
Well, I'm glad I was a bit of the entertainment.
Lisa says, "Oh my God, so touching." I'm sure you're talking about the young girl again, that she has Down syndrome. Stephanie said, "Amazing." Julie says, "Cool poster, Nathan." Anybody else? Okay, so if you watch this later, do a little hashtag replay and let us know if you went, if you've been to the factory. How many times have you been to the factory, by the way?
That was my first time out there, so I knew it would be nice, but it was just a wonderful space for concerts. So I'll definitely, they have good acts that come out there, so I'll definitely keep in the repertoire, shall we say.
Yeah, I actually am in touch with the marketing guys at the factory in Chesterfield, and they have Dirty Dancing coming up, which I'm a huge Dirty Dancing fan. So you might want to look into that. But yeah, some great concerts. I had not been there until I saw Teddy Swims. Are you a Teddy Swims fan?
Not necessarily, but I'm sure it was an awesome show.
It was. He's got such a soulful voice. I actually found him on Instagram about 4 years ago. We went and saw him at a small venue in Birmingham, Alabama, and Wow. I mean, again, great entertainers. And I just love all these people that are able to make their mark in the world
Right.
by singing shows or by Instagram. I mean, people love to be negative about social media, but look, we found some incredible voices simply by watching and scrolling through videos.
I've definitely found new artists and concerts just from a Facebook post or an Instagram post, and even I've bought tickets, you know, sight unseen and not even knowing what it is, just knowing the genre and just really been pleased by some of the things that I found. So, to your point, there is some opportunity to have some positivity in social media if you follow the right people and right venues and things like that.
Absolutely. I just popped over to Instagram. And again, I'm sorry if I ever miss some live comments because they come filtering through on this software system I have, but then I have to pop over for some of the other platforms. So, Jessica Jean Lombardo, who is she to you?
That's my sister-in-law, and she was right one row behind us last night.
She said, I almost cried at the hug. And she's talking about that hug we showed you again between Belinda and that young girl. Again, how could you not? It's just, she was just so taken back by her, and the way she looked up at her was just like, and again, when she pumped her fist in the air and was like, woo.
And you could tell that Belinda intentionally went to get to
Yes.
see her. So it was really touching.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Let's see. I'll look at your comments later, and Nathan can do the same. Good morning to all of you. Again, if you're just tuning in, and if you're brand new, welcome aboard. We'd love to have you every day, Monday through Friday. We're here at 7 a.m., and you never know who I'm going to bring on the show. We could just randomly meet like we did. Julie said, thanks for coming on, Nathan.
Absolutely.
Yes, we greatly appreciate it. Stay in touch with me because I don't think this is the end of me seeing you.
I'm ready for the Nathan Lombardo segment every day. Let's do it.
Honestly, I was going to ask you because when I was in television, we used to have, obviously, we used to do different entertainment pieces, etc. But maybe you can be my entertainment reporter.
I love it.
Yes. Nathan Lombardo, I love you. By the way, okay, so you said you're in a small apartment. What area of town do you live?
I live in Clayton.
In Clayton. And then what do you do?
I am a government administrator. So, government administration.
I would never have said that. I would have been like, he's got to be in something with the arts.
Maybe in a past life or if I made some or chosen different forks in the road at some point. But my whole life has been public policy and things like that.
Interesting. Well, thank you. And I think we probably have some similar friends. When you friend requested me last night, I saw, do you know James' work?
I do.
Okay, so James, I'm going to show you here as we go to the break. I also do design and wardrobe consulting for men for a long, long time, and I work with different models. So he and I had met and then just fell in love right away, just like I did with you. And I saw that he was friends with you or followed you, whatever, on Instagram. Yep. I'm like, oh, I bet you they're friends. He's a good man.
Small St. Louis world sometimes.
That it is. Well, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you getting up early with us and putting this background. I mean, you went above and beyond. You are a great guest. I never knew. I thought so. I knew we'd have fun today, but I can't believe you did all of this.
This was great. Absolutely my pleasure.
All right, Nathan, have a beautiful day.
You too. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. More of the Real Monica Adams Show to come.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
And just reach out to me if you're interested. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. By the way, I want you to go to our website, TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and go to the calendar of events. You can always see where we're going to be out and about. This is one of our mobile Monicas. Galentine's Night on February 13th, 6 to 9 p.m. is all of the fun. You're going to have vendors there with jewelry and hats, and there's going to be a photo booth, great catering. So somebody asked me last night, the ticket price, $50. You can scan the QR code right now. You'll get 2 signature cocktails. And all the rage right now are those cocktail boards, just really beautiful over the top cocktails. They're going to have that for you. They'll have big theme charcuterie boards for the table, no more than 10 at a table. So grab your girlfriends and do some music bingo. There will be prizes to give away. Galentine's Night. And if you can't come to that, but you want to go out with your honey, they are also doing a beautiful in the old 200-year-old stone mansion at Stone House of St. St. Charles, they are going to have Valentine's. And our dear friend, Abby Stahlschmidt, will be playing the violin on Valentine's night. If you can't go out on Friday, but you definitely want to celebrate with your honey, then you can go on the 15th on that Saturday. So she knew that a lot of people possibly couldn't come on Friday. So there's 3 events going on: the 13th for Galentine's, and then the special Valentine's nights. Okay, so 400 girls can all pack in. And can you imagine just laughing and shopping and sipping and eating and winning big prizes? Well, that's what's going to happen. We're going to be there. We're broadcasting at 5 p.m. and then 6 to 9 is going to be the fun together. I can't wait to see you. I really hope you get there. Again, I don't want you to miss out and then the next day say, why didn't I get tickets? And seeing pictures all over social media and you missed out on that. I don't want you to miss out. So check out 13th, 14th, and 15th, big nights that are taking place. Again, we've got mobile Monicas that are all over the place. We also have the dance party, as you're seeing here on the bottom of the screen. Do me a favor, and if you can go to the event that I put together on Facebook, this is really just so that we can let Carmen Gwynn, who owns the dance studio where we're going to be, she asked if I had a number, and I said, look, a lot of people wait to the last second, and they may not have RSVP'd yet. So I told her maybe figure on maybe 15, 20 or more people that will be at the dance side of it. So this is going to be next Thursday, the 30th, at Almas del Ritmo Dance Company, which is on Park Avenue. And we're going to be with Carmen and other instructors, some of her current dance clients that she has there. They're going to showcase some of the things that they have learned from her, like this.
5, 6, 7, and a 1, 2, bounce, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and a 1, 2, face it, pop over, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and a 1.
So that's what we're going to learn. We're learning salsa, that Latin hip movement. And again, humble yourself. As we talk a little bit here about finding your voice, just humble yourself. Just laugh. No one's laughing at you. We're all laughing together because we all had to start somewhere. And if you feel like, oh, I don't have, I've got 2 left feet or I have no rhythm whatsoever, doesn't matter. All that matters is, are you having fun? Like I just talked to Nathan about, can you get out of your own way and can you just let go? I'm going to tell you right now, your life will drastically change if you just start realizing that you can just be you. Not just, I hate that word. You can be you. You be you and watch what happens as other people come in and just want to be in your path and suddenly want to be with you. Just like we did with Nathan. I'm going to tell you right now, I bet you Nathan is going to show up regularly because I can tell the energy that the two of us have together. And that's what I want more of. I want that for you all, by the way, as well. I want you to find friendships, budding friendships that start simply because you showed kindness to each other, simply because you got out of your own way and you were looking for other people at the very right time. Sometimes you're thinking, well, I didn't even know I was looking. Nope, it just happens. So I bet you this really cool friendship forms between Nathan and myself. Dot said, Stephanie, she did. It was incredible. Yes. So Stephanie was saying... good job, Nathan. And also saying that, did she sing it's the greatest love of all? Yes, she did sing the greatest love of all, or as she put, the children are our future. They are, right? And you got to teach them young and lift them up and help them find their voice. So in our final 15 minutes or so, as I look at the comments, ask any questions that you want, make any comments about what maybe Whitney Houston's music has done for you. The greatest love of all is the song, by the way, Stephanie, that I used to do in a lot of contests. I mean, who wouldn't want to? That was a song that just connected with so many of us. She also sang the song that she did in the Olympics. I would have loved to have seen a rendition of the national anthem, which there is to this day. I should have asked Nathan about that. To this day, no one has ever sang it like she did at the Super Bowl. Do you all agree with that? I would think so. Jill Moore, that is Beckett's mama. Galentine's looks so fun. I'll be out of town with Beckett at the National Storm Chaser Summit in Kansas City. Well, shoot. Well, you are furthering his education, which we love. But Jill, we will miss you. It's going to be a great time for sure. Marilyn, not my cup of tea in February, as my sweetheart always made that time of year special. I am, however, looking forward to the first murder mystery show at the Stonehouse of St. Charles, hoping you and the Maniacs will join my group. Yes. Murder Mystery Dinner is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure the Real Monica Adams show is going to be a part of that as well as they announce different dates. Marilyn, I would have loved to have had you there because, again, Girlfriend relationships are so very important. And then we celebrate the love of our life, your significant other, whoever you are going to spend Valentine's with. Some people don't like Valentine's, Marilyn. I love anything that has to do with love. You know that. But some people just look at Valentine's and they call it a Hallmark holiday. What do you think about that? Feel free again to comment. Do us a favor also and do this. Share, like, follow our live stream. Thank you, by the way, wherever you're watching from. And if you're brand new, let us know that, hey, I just found it. And thank you for, providing positivity and laughter and hope. Sometimes we have topics that we discuss on the show that people never thought that they would release. And that's something that's really been beautiful. We've been in our studio for, well, let's see, we started there June 12th of 2023. So about a year and a half or so in our studio space. And we designed it with a purpose in mind, that when people walked in, that they felt comfortable, that they felt a safe space, that they could find their voice. So as I made that part of today's show, I want you to tell me, because yesterday was really interactive. Tell me, what do you think I mean by finding your voice? Has anybody ever said that to you before, by the way? Do you sit back, and this is the life coaching side that I'll go into, and you feel free, if you missed yesterday's show, to tell me what you think a life coach could provide to you and what you think a life coach is, because we really went deep into that yesterday. And I said there are absolutely no wrong answers. What a life coach provides to you, because I didn't really go deep into what I feel I'm able to connect with my life coaching clients. It is a person to listen to you. It is a person to help you find your voice. What do we mean by that? If someone has always squashed what you feel inside, this is what we discussed yesterday, and you have suppressed all of the anger and the fear and the anxiety and the sadness and the depression, feeling alone, it's the power, right, that we talked about yesterday that was given to those people to say that they were up here and they felt that you shouldn't have a voice. At some point, you start speaking. And it's a beautiful place to get, by the way. I will, because some people always ask me, like, Monica, have you always been like this? Well, I was guided along by two incredible parents. I have fantastic siblings, and I was blessed with wonderful friends. My husband asked me to tell you the story. I know I've told it before, but since we do have new people, he said, did you give your own personal story, Monica, because people like to hear that connection. So from a friendship standpoint, we had very dear friends, actually on both sides of our wedding day. We had girls on my side and we had a guy, a couple. Well, there's one in particular that he's still in touch with, but one that was a very dear friend of him, a friend of my husband's. So I'm going to give you the real side of both of this. There are a handful, but one in particular of the girls that stood next to me at our wedding that I don't talk to anymore. And it was not my choice. It was ended in a text message. And I never have to this day understood. I've let that go because it doesn't serve space for me in my soul, in my spirit, in my mind, in my heart. It did bother me for a long time, folks. And we've talked about a lot of you at home feeling like, yes, that's happened to me, but I let it weigh on me. I found a voice and started to speak out, feeling very empowered to be able to talk about things that people struggle with, real life experiences. And I'm not going to say it was easy. In fact, I remember clenching my jaw on a regular basis as I was getting ready in the morning, and it hurt. I mean, let's be real. You have someone who you consider one of your best friends with you constantly on nights out here at the house. I personal trained her. We were together a lot, went on vacations together. And then it was just, how do you toss a friend away like that? Again, if we're not meant for each other's life anymore, that's fine. But say why. Have the decency and respect to say what happened so that at least you have the awareness. Now, the same thing happened to my husband, someone who was truly his best friend, and he has no idea either. But he said it doesn't bother him at all. Like, it didn't bother him at all. I don't know about that. I mean, if guys try to puff up their chest and act like things don't bother them, sometimes I want them to find their voice. I want him to say, it sucks, doesn't it? I mean, he was a good friend of yours. But why, folks? Why do you think that happens? Some people say jealousy. I just think it's a lack of respect. So if you don't want to be in someone's life anymore, talk with them. Tell them why. Say it's not serving you anymore. And then it's okay, right? Because then it was, all right, I'm not going to question it. If you don't want me in your life, then we were a season or a reason or a lifetime. Dot and I talk all the time about day makers and lifers. start thinking about the people in your life right now that are your lifers and start thanking them. I listed a bunch of friends the other day. My dearest, obviously, my mother and my husband. I'll put it the other way around because he'd probably be frustrated that I don't put him first. My husband and my mother, my best friends. And then I've got all these other ones that I thank. And when you lift each other up and you are able to speak openly and freely, that's the best place to be. What I'm going to ask all of you, are you in friendships, or for that matter, are you in a relationship where you don't feel like you have a voice, where that person is constantly overpowering you and never wants to have you speak? Okay, do you have that? And if so, how is that working for you? Okay, if you right now, live or later, just think about that for me and tell me if that's happening in your life. Oh, James Warwick joined. I don't know if he's still on, but shout out to you, James. Just had Nathan, my Lombardo, on. I love that I've met all of you and that we probably are all going to be dear friends. We got to go out and have drinks together or eat together or just laugh together, because I think that's what would happen. James Warwick is a really beautiful model, by the way. Follow him on Instagram. Marilyn, I would have loved to be at the factory last night. Believe me, I am a fan of hers, but I had a prior commitment last night and I never wig out on a prior. That is a good woman. That's another good thing about a dear friend, is someone who, no matter whether they feel like they got a better offer, you stay with the one. That's respectful, Marilyn. You stay with the one that you already said, yes, I will come to this. Even though over here you're like, I really want to go see Belinda Davids in this. You're a good woman and a good friend. Marilyn's been a great friend, by the way, of this show. She's the one that's provided us with these wonderful books that we're reading from. Jesus Listens, Jesus Calling from Sarah Young. She's also got a Christmas one that we'll be doing this coming Christmas. And then we have 100 Days to Freedom from our friend Stephen Arterburn, which, again, we still have to get on the show. But I want you to think about these things. This is what happens. We go more in depth. And sometimes, like right now, people might feel a little, I don't want to be judged. When you get to a point of saying, I can type anything, or if Monica had me join, like I did with Nathan, I can say and be open and say whatever. The best friendships, by the way, are when you have gotten to the point that you can say anything to her or him and they don't get their feelings hurt. Now, understand, this is a really powerful thing for you to think about. You can never have your feelings hurt if you don't let someone. So we talked about let them yesterday. Let them be degrading. Let them be judgmental. Let them be jealous, sarcastic, whatever. But you don't let them invade your space and time in your mind. It is for the moment. Let it be a fleeting moment and then move on. That's a point that I want to get you to. And I know a lot of people were struggling, making a lot of comments yesterday. Now, I want you to think about these things. We piggybacked on what we were learning yesterday. This is why I want to get back to some of the classes so that I actually can speak with you, that you can let go. Those classes that we did, the Cultivating a Vision that we did last year, we're going to bring those back. And why are they so powerful? Because it's a space where we give you a voice. And everyone that's there suddenly realizes, oh my gosh, this person has felt this way. Well, that sounds like my life. Yes, trust me, we are all the same. I don't care the race, the ethnicity, the culture you're from. We all have this bond. We all are human beings. We are never going to be perfect. And it's just getting out of your own way and understanding to let go of measuring yourself to someone else, thinking that they have a better life. They've got all the things I talked about yesterday. Oh, you've got the better job, the better husband, wife, the better car. No. What's going on the inside? Are you both great people? That is truly all we will ever remember in life, is how the time we spent together mattered and how you make somebody else feel. Those are the powerful moments I want you to think about. Okay. So finding your voice, to me, as we wrap up, is letting go of everything you have suppressed. And I don't want you to just let it go and get angry of everything that was pushed down. I want you to start to, maybe you journal about it. Maybe you have your confidant that you start saying, you know what? Can I sit down and talk? Because all these things that I wanted to say over the years are going to start coming out because I finally feel empowered to do so. I watched this show with Monica and she told me to let go and to start saying the things that matter in my life. If you have people in your life that won't listen to you, that won't let you start to say what you feel, they're not meant for your life. Okay, I want you to sit and marinate on that a little bit. Think about that. Start thinking about the people that are in your life right now. And if anybody says, I don't care what you say, hey, really? Then I don't think they're for you. This show is to empower you. This show sometimes will have some really heartbreaking stories, gut-wrenching stories. And you think, well, Monica, I thought you were always bringing positivity. We are bringing positivity. We're going to show you how they come out of it. And that's how you get inspiration to find your voice. And then we have a lot of fun together. Stay tuned. We've got Jesus Listening when we come back. He wants to say, I can't believe I took your son's life. I don't know what I was thinking. I have so much regret and remorse. I've changed my life. Would you accept that apology?
I've never thought of that. Yeah, I would.
Do you think, because you talk about forgiveness, do you think that you all can ever forgive one another and come back together?
It wasn't just right. I'm not perfect. Just because my name is Bush, I don't have it all figured out. And I think they know that too.
I was cyclically depressed, so I could be the happiest person you ever met at 11 a.m. I could be on cloud 9, and by 7 p.m. that evening, I'd be sitting on a couch with a gun in my hand. Hard not to get emotional. I
never feel sorry for being emotional.
I really, I was at a space to where I couldn't believe that I had brought my children into this.
Where's the light? Because many of you probably feel that there's this darkness and there's this thunder cloud that's constantly over you. This family has dealt with so much.
Our journey is our journey. There has to be purpose in this pain. There has to be something more powerful. I have to find something to be blessed about every day. I have to count my blessings and have gratitude every single day.
Gratitude. That, by the way, is what I preach. And think about that when you start your morning, and you just did. Maybe you've been up for a couple of hours, or maybe you just got up. So go ahead and pick your word of intention. I've been having some really good ones lately. I had energy and inspiration and motivation and connection and unity. Those have been mine. Feel free to use those. You can reuse words that you've used as well. But as the day goes along and you just feel like it's been tragic, and tragedy can happen at any moment, right? It's how we react to it. At the end of the day, do exactly as you just heard, and that is to find some gratitude. Find your word of gratitude literally before you close your eyes. That way you have peaceful sleep, and then wake up in the morning. Right away, maybe you meditate, maybe you pray, however you start, but try not to start the day without some type of inspiration. That will keep you going. And for a lot of you, I'd like for you to be right here and join us as we are here for you Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. We've got some big announcements to make, by the way, not completely letting you in on this secret. But as you pay attention to next week's show, and then you pay attention to our social media over the next couple of weeks, we've got something really massive to tell you and to show you and to invite you to. That's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. Monday morning, Jerry G and Lance Mayfield are going to join me. Jerry is the owner of Specialty MRI. He's going to be on our Medical Monday. We are going to continue to talk about the whole body MRI that he has started in Fenton over the last few months. I know a handful of you went. He's told me that you went over, and Lance is actually going to join the show because he wants to talk about his health journey and being proactive. What they were able to see, he has given us permission to show on the show on Monday morning. I'm going to also bring Dr. Richard Lehman on, because after Dr. Lehman saw what the results were from my MRI, he wanted a deeper dive into some bulging discs that showed up in my lumbar area. Somebody said, Monica, you're really brave to have shown that to us. And I said, I'm always going to be real from the inside out. I have nothing to hide. So yeah, there were a few things that popped up that we wanted to go deeper into that I would have never known, by the way, if I didn't have this. So early markers for cancer and 500 other illnesses can show up that you would not have known about. I would have never known that there was a lumbar issue. I mean, I probably dismissed almost pulling my back when I was at the gym, but I don't know that I would have gone deeper into that. And we're going to do so. Wait till you hear what Dr. Lehman has to say about this. And then on Tuesday, this is going to be fun. Cooking with Paolo in Chianti. She is in town from, or I should say in country, right? From Italy. And we're going to showcase some of the hosting that people are doing while she's here. We're going to have some Italian food, some Italian wine. I mean, come on. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we do Medical Mondays. We might do a Wellness Wednesday. We will have next Wednesday our Wet Your Whistle with Defiance Ridge at 4:00 in the afternoon. So we have a couple of shows that we do on Wednesdays in the morning, and then the fun show at 4:00 in the the afternoon when we tip some good red wine or white wine back, or maybe some bubbles with Chuck Gillentine. We'll talk about some of the things they have planned. By the way, they've got a trip that I found on their website. You can go to DefianceRidgeVineyards.com and check out this trip that they have going to Paris. Somebody reached out to me and said, have you seen that? Would you want to go? Considering it, again, not sure. Looking at my schedule for this for the next several months, but yeah, pretty cool. We'll talk about that. Thursday, February 6th, by the way, we bring back Positive Talk Time with our dear friend Jessica Cook. We love that with Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. And if there's a segment that you would like for us to do, you would like for us to start, let me know. Talking about doing cooking segments. And yes, we will bring back the Barking Baker. Just have to have some time to shoot another episode with the doggies. Okay, Jesus listens as we wrap up. My Savior King, thank you for your precious robe of righteousness that covers me from head to toe. The price you paid for this glorious garment was astronomical, your own sacred blood. I realized I could never have purchased this royal robe, no matter how hard I worked. So I'm extremely grateful that your righteousness is a free gift. If I forget this amazing truth, I feel ill at ease in my regal robe. Sometimes I even squirm under the velvety fabric as if it were made of scratchy sackcloth. Lord, I long to trust you enough to remember my privileged position in your kingdom and to relax in the luxuriant folds of my magnificent robe. I need to keep my eyes on you as I practice walking in this garment of salvation. And when my behavior is unfitting for a child of the king, it's tempting to try to throw off my royal robe. Help me instead to throw off the unrighteous behavior. Then I'll be able to feel at ease in this garment of grace, enjoying the gift you fashioned for me before the creation of the world. In your regal name, Jesus, amen. Again, Sarah Young, Jesus listens. Kathleen Moore said, I'm going to Defiance today. Plan to visit the winery. We'll tell them that you came and that you know about them because of this show. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Again, we'll be back with you Monday morning on set from the Real Monica Adams studios. We've got a big week planned for you, and you do not want to miss some of the big announcements that are to come. All thanks to you and the growth that you've given this show. Thank you so much. Remember, believe in yourself. Find your voice. Be anything you want to be. But before you're anything, be kind. God bless you all. See you Monday.